Every person you've ever been with has measured you against someone else. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but somewhere in their subconscious, there's a blueprint, an ideal, the memory of a person they hold you up against, and you fall short. You're unaware you're being judged, yet you're being overshadowed by someone who may no longer even be present, someone they might have known only briefly, long ago, but who left a mark so profound that everyone who follows seems like a faint imitation, a lackluster reminder of a past connection. You wonder what forges a truly memorable person. What cements them as the benchmark all others fail to meet? What carves that profound psychological scar that time, separation, or new partners cannot heal? I will explain, and the answer will surprise you. It isn't wealth, it isn't appearance, it isn't even sexual prowess. It's something far more fundamental, more instinctual, something that communicates directly with a primal non-verbal layer of the mind. The primary and most potent trait is intense focus, but not focus on them. This is the universal error. You believe proving they are your world will make you indispensable. Incorrect. Completely mistaken. The person they always remember is focused on something else completely. Their calling, their vision, their objective, their passion, an interest that exists independently of them. Pay close attention, as this contradicts everything you've heard. People don't want to be your central focus. They want to become it. They want to merit that position. Strive for it, compete for it. When you place them on a pedestal immediately, there's no struggle, no victory, no satisfaction. You've awarded the trophy before the contest has begun. But when you're consumed by building your enterprise, perfecting your skill, or advancing your cause, a remarkable shift occurs in their mind. Their psychology enters a competitive state. They think, he is capable of this depth of concentration, this intensity, this dedicated pursuit, but it's not aimed at me. I must attract it. I must become the focus of that dedication. They will then spend the entire relationship trying to shift that focus onto themselves. This is the anchor that endures. Years later, decades later, they will recall the person who was so determined, so purposeful, so dedicated to their mission, that they could never fully possess him. They had fragments, instances, but never the entirety, and that unfinished pursuit torments them indefinitely. Every subsequent partner who makes them their universe, who abandons his ambitions for them, who swaps his dedication for devotion to them, will always seem inferior to the person they could never fully capture. I observe this constantly. They'll mention someone from their history, their gaze distant, their tone shifting. He was so driven by his work, they'll say. He'd skip meals when immersed in a task. He'd lose all sense of time. And when he finally looked at me, emerging from that zone, it felt like I was the prize for his dedication, not the reason for it. These individuals, some in decades-long marriages, accomplished, apparently content, still carry this person in their mental framework. He is the one they fantasize about, the one they search for online in the quiet night, the one whose name they type and then erase, not from a desire to rekindle, but because he symbolizes something they never encountered again, a person whose universe did not orbit around them. The psyche is conditioned to desire top priority in a partner's life. There's a deep-seated need to occupy that primary role, but here is the contradiction. If she is given that role immediately, without earning it, it holds no weight. It's like receiving an award without winning it. The success feels empty and unearned. But when she must contend with your dedication, when she must strive to divert your attention from your purpose to her, even slightly, that is when she truly values her position. The second trait of an unforgettable person is a definitive objective pursued with unwavering determination, not a nebulous hope, not a distant fantasy, but a tangible target that guides his daily life. The world is full of individuals who meander, who have jobs rather than callings, who simply exist rather than accomplish. When she encounters a person with authentic direction, with a destination he is moving toward, something ancient within her identifies this as power. Consider evolutionary psychology. For millennia, survival depended on aligning with individuals who could provide, construct, and ensure stability through deliberate action. This isn't social learning, it's biological hardwiring. A person with a goal signifies potential, future safety, and the capacity for advancement. A person without goals signifies standstill, deterioration, and eventual irrelevance. In reflections on past relationships, you know what is never expressed. I truly miss his lack of direction. I loved his acceptance of mediocrity. It was so appealing how he wandered without aim. Never. They remember the person who was creating something, even if it remained unbuilt. The endeavor, the motivation, the purposeful action, that is what etches into their memory. I know someone whose former partner became immensely successful. She left when he was struggling, working endlessly on his venture. Now she is with a secure, comfortable partner who cherishes her, but who occupies her thoughts. The former partner, not due to his current status, but because she recalls the passion when he spoke of his dream, how he'd forget to eat, absorbed in his work, the absolute conviction he possessed. Her current partner has no passion, no dream, no absorbing aim. He is kind, dependable, affectionate, and utterly unmemorable. Here is the critical misunderstanding. Even if that goal is realized at the relationship's expense, even if it demands her sacrifices, even if it means less connection, less attention, less of everything she consciously desires, subconsciously, that driven ambition is infinitely more attractive than a person who makes her his sole objective. The third trait is that he respects his time and refuses to squander it. This is enormously powerful and rarely understood. When a man treats his time as a valuable commodity, when he won't linger, won't halt his life, won't give his hours for anyone's convenience, including hers, he demonstrates his worth. He doesn't just state it. You may think, but I should be available for her. Show she matters. True, but not by devaluing your own time. When your time has no value, when you cancel plans at her message, when you wait endlessly, when you sacrifice your agenda for her whims, what message are you sending? That your time is insignificant. And if your time is insignificant, so are you. The man forever remembered did not wait. If she was tardy, he departed. If she cancelled, he proceeded with other commitments. If she engaged in pointless drama, he had more important matters. His time was precious because he was creating, pursuing, evolving, and counterintuitively, this made the time he did share with her infinitely more valuable than all the free time offered by others. Time is our only truly non-renewable asset. When a man shows through behavior that he grasps this, that he won't waste his moments, something profound in the psyche registers this as supreme confidence. She adjusts to his rhythm. She becomes mindful of his time because she knows it's limited. Years on, she remembers the man whose time she had to merit, not the one who gave it away freely. The fourth trait is that he genuinely prefers his own company, not just tolerates solitude, but truly enjoys it. This is powerful because it's rare. Many fear being alone, hopping from one relationship to the next, terrified of the silence of solitude. But the man who enjoys his own presence, who can state honestly, I am content alone, I am happier with you, but I am content alone, becomes permanently etched in memory. Why? Because he selected her from a place of abundance, not deficit. His presence was an addition, not a necessity. When a man cannot be alone, he becomes dependent, clingy, and suffocating. These men are forgotten instantly, but the man who thrives in solitude, who has a rich inner world, who can spend days alone and return replenished, is choosing to share his wholeness. This selection from completeness, not emptiness, creates a different dynamic. She knows he doesn't need her, which paradoxically makes her want him more. The fifth, and vital trait, is a total lack of fear regarding loss. The anxiety of being left is detectable instantly. The moment a man operates from this fear, respect begins to erode. It's not intentional, it's instinctual. Fear signals vulnerability, and vulnerability triggers disinterest, not attraction. The fear of loss is irrational. What is the actual risk? You will not perish. Your life will continue. This is a change, not a catastrophe. The unforgettable man lacked this fear. When she threatened departure, he didn't plead. When she issued ultimatums, he didn't yield. Not from indifference, but from understanding a core truth. His value was not defined by her presence. This lack of fear transforms the dynamic. She cannot control through threats. She must actually contribute, actually add value to maintain his interest. The sixth trait is that he possesses genuine value and is sought after beyond the relationship. He has friends who rely on his judgment, a career that demands his skill, a life that exists powerfully outside of hers. She is one aspect of his full existence. This external validation creates scarcity. When many desire something, its worth increases. Witnessing others compete for his time and attention, she realizes she must earn her place. The man whose world revolves solely around her is quickly forgotten. The man she had to fit into his valuable life is remembered as someone of authentic substance. These traits combine to create the unconscious standard against which all others are measured. He was not needy, not overly available, not desperate for approval. He was self-contained, purposeful, and valued. He chose from abundance. Years later, with new partners, she compares. The new partner is always available. She remembers the one who was building. The new partner adores her completely. She remembers the one whose full attention she couldn't secure. Every comparison favors the memory, the ghost who embodied these principles, not from malice, but because these traits represent a fundamental strength. Most men do the opposite. They make her their center, abandon their aims, treat their time as worthless, dread solitude, live in fear of loss, and have no external value. They are easily forgotten. The man who embodies these qualities becomes a permanent part of her personal history. He is the standard no one else meets. This cannot be faked. The path to becoming this person is through genuine self-development, the authentic pursuit of purpose, and the real cultivation of an independent, valuable life. Become this person, and you become unforgettable. Remain the opposite, and you are merely another name in the past. The decision is yours. Be the man she forgets, or the standard she measures others by. The distinction determines whether you are valued temporarily or remembered forever.